Hey guys, so I'm just out here preaching the gospel, healing the sick, and I want to share a powerful testimony with all of you out there. As I was walking around, I saw this guy who had this plastic on his leg, and I just stopped and I said, hey, you know, what's happening? Do you have any pain? And he said, oh yeah, for 6 years I have this plastic on my leg. And he said, but I'm a Christian too, I go to church, and they told me that one day I'm gonna be healed. And I said, brother, that day it came right now. I said, let me put my hands on your leg. So he led me and I put my hands on his leg and I'm praying right there. He gets healed, completely healed after 6 years. And while I'm doing that, while I pray for him, God showed me, it was like I could see his whole life passed in front of my eyes. And I just told him, I said, look, I said, you have children and your children they hate you because of this and this. And I cannot share actually the reason why. And he was like, wow, and he started to cry. He was thinking about committing suicide because of this. And here is the video, here is what he's told me. And to make a long story short, I saw that he has this plastic on his leg, and I stopped him, asked him if I want to pray for him. Did I met you before? No, I didn't met you before. And he had this pain in his leg for 6 years. The pain is gone. For 6 years he had this pain in his leg. And God told me something personal about this man. And I just told him, and what did you say? What did you tell me?
Said it was right.
Hey?
Said it was right what you said.
Then,
yes, I felt encouraged. Felt that the Lord sent you along to encourage us.
yeah, so that God sent me along to encourage him.
Yeah, to give us, increase our faith and belief.
Yeah.
Hold on to the fact that God does care when we're in great difficulty. He does care.
Amen.
Does understand.
Amen. Amen. So guys, let's go out there, preach the gospel, preach a radical gospel. There are so many people like them that they need to hear God. People in the world, they need something real, they need a tangible Jesus. How important it is to listen to God's voice. It is so important that the life of someone can depend on it, if you step out or not. So I also know that some of you asked me some questions, and some of them, they were like, that you want to be active and that you want to make disciples and that you want to produce fruits. I want to say something. I want to tell you this. Start with what you have. Be faithful in the small. Be faithful in the season that you are right now. Because there is a biblical principle. You know, God cannot put you over more if you're not faithful right now in what you have, with what you have. The question is, what are you doing right now? Are you faithful? Are you active? Are you doing something about this? You know, there's people who tell me, God gave me a promise that one day I will have a great ministry. What I tell them is this, okay, you know, God told you this, but what are you doing right now about this? Are you faithful? Are you working towards it? You know, God is not going to give you a blueprint of how His plan for your life is going to look, like every detail, everything. No, God waits you to be active, to be faithful in the small, and while you start to be faithful in the small, He will show you step by step. That's how God shows me. If God would show me 5 years ago what's His plan for my life right now here, I wouldn't be able I think I would just run away. I think I would not, you know, I wouldn't understand. My character was not ready on the time. But I was faithful in the small, step by step, and then God showed me more and more, step by step, the next step, then the next step. But God cannot put you over more unless you are faithful in the season that you are right now. If you want God to use you, if you want to be used by God, start with the basics. Start with what He already told us in His Word. And that is, the basic is to heal the sick, preach the gospel. Start with that. I know people who says, I'm not going to move unless God is going to speak to me. I'm not going to move unless God really, I hear God. Well, if you don't move, then God is not going to talk to you. You know, God speaks to you as you move, as you are active. So start with preaching the gospel, healing the sick, and then God will put you over more. Guys, God bless you, all of you out there, and let's make disciples.